What's going on, Gherkins and Gherkets? Welcome back to the channel. So, I know that I missed last week. I am very sorry. I had COVID. It was awful. It was a thing. If you want to ask about it, please feel free to hop in the Discord. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. But anyway, today we are continuing our Phasmophobia item guide. And because of how many extra items there are, I decided I'm going to only cover 6 per video up until we finish. That way, videos aren't dragging on extremely long for no reason. Right? So, today we are going over the Firelight, camera, sound recorder, Crucifix, motion sensor, and Incense. Sage, whatever you want to call it. Alright? So, the first item I do want to talk about is going to be the camera, right? So, with the camera, if you have been following me for a minute, you know that I did a video a while back talking about 3 easy photos you can get every single round. One of those will be the bone, one of those will be the cursed object, and one of those will be a EMF reading. Guaranteed pretty much every single round, right? Let me see if I can find the cursed object real quick. And there we go. Summoning circle. So that's going to be picture number 1. At another time, I'll probably do a short going over the cursed item locations in each place, but I don't want to do that for now. Now, the camera is extremely important because it is necessary to get a perfect game. So, each round, you have to get 5 different photos that are all unique. So you can't get 2 pictures of the same cursed object, right? But you can get a UV photo and a UV handprint. Those are 2 completely different things. All right, so if you're struggling, you can get UV. That's 2, plus the 3 that I told you about. Boom. You got all your photo media finished and done. All right. So that's pretty much all I want to talk about with the camera. The next item is going to be the sound recorder. Now, the sound recorder is really neat, especially once you get towards the later tier, because tier 1 is just awful. It's so difficult. Let's see if we can find a sound somewhere, and it will kind of give you an idea of what to be looking for. So bear with me. Let me see if I can find the ghost. Yeah. Alrighty, we found the ghost room. He is in here, and as you can see... Oh, that's 2? Oh, okay, no. Interesting. Alright. Now, I did have to use the thermometer to find the ghost room, but that's fine. Now, since we're in here, let me go ahead and move on to the lantern, right? I did bring that with me. But if you set the lantern up, you will get an audio for the firelight being blown out, which again is a guaranteed media. It makes it a little easier to get all those uniques for the sound recorder, because you know this one's going to be different than if it tries to talk to you twice. Right? So, yes. That pretty much covers it for the sound recorder. You need to make sure that you are looking for the recording indicator. You have to hold down right click. Alright, so now let's talk about the lanterns. Oh, hello. Alright, so it looks like the ghost knocked our power out, but that's not a really big deal. 1 second so I can get these set up. Okay. So, one really important thing that you can do with the Firelight is you can test for an Onryo, Okay, so you want to do a setup kind of like this with a crucifix in the middle. And the way it'll work is the Onryo will blow out 3 different candle lights, and then it will try to hunt. Right? So any firelight will work for this. So if you have all 3 of these blow out, and then your crucifix burns, you know you've got an Onryo, you can go and get out of there. Okay? Another cool thing about the lantern. Well, there you go. Another cool thing about the lantern is it does help preserve your sanity. So if you are walking around and you're doing a challenge mode, for example, where there is no power, you can use these to help keep your sanity higher over a longer period of time. They also count as a good video. And yeah, so that's about it on the Firelight. They're very useful for what they're good for. All right, so now we're going to talk about the Crucifix. Crucifix is the best defensive item you've got because it will prevent the ghost from hunting at all in whatever radius you see when you try to place it on the ground. Now, with this being a tier 3 Crucifix, you can kind of see where that barrier is, right? But they cover a huge amount of area. The tier 1 and the tier 2 do not. All right, so you typically aren't going to get an entire room's coverage out of a tier 1 or a tier 2 unless it's one of the smaller rooms. Let me relight these. So we got a little bit of light in here. Right. Now, the Crucifix for tier 1 has 1 prevention out of it. And the tier 2 and 3 both have 2. Okay? So max you're going to have per round is 4 hunts that you can mitigate with a Crucifix. You're really throwing a lot. Like, really throwing a lot. Bitch. Anyway. So, yeah, that's the Crucifix. Quick and simple. Let's go ahead and move on to the next item. Alrighty. So, I did get our power turn back on. But the next 2 items that we're going to talk about are going to be the motion sensor and the Incense. Okay? Your Incense is your only other defensive item, and the motion sensor is a great way to test for a Banshee. And it is a great way to get an easy video media. Oh, it was that. Sorry. Bruh, I just turned that back on. Alright, anyway, so one of the cool things about a motion sensor is you get a free video out of it. But the really important thing... Why are you so aggressive? I'm going to figure out what you are just for fun. But what you do is you would set the motion sensor up leading away from the ghost room after you find it. And you would just walk from the ghost room to the other side of your motion sensors. And if they go off one at a time, there and back, you know that you're being followed by the Banshee. So that's a pretty good bet that that's what you're going to be dealing with. Of course, that's not always the case. So just be careful. You never know. It could be a mimic. So never just trust it. Alright, next is your Sage. He really is throwing and slamming a lot of stuff. Alright, so tier 1, it's basic. It's just going to disorient it so that it doesn't attack you. 2, it's fine. I don't mind being in the dark. The tier 2 slows it and disorients it, and the tier 3 stops it and disorients it. Okay? So if you are looping, the tier 2 is probably the better option. That way you can run through it and it just slows it down so it can keep going a different direction. It gives you a little bit more of a head start. Okay. You're really active. Are you an Oni? Wait, I think I got a missball event, so it can't be an Oni. Fine. But if you are trying to get media, like a photo of the ghost, the tier 3 is premium. It is fantastic. So if you have a lot of faith in your looping ability, tier 3 Incense is chef's kiss phenomenal. But anyway, guys, let me go ahead and figure this ghost out. I hope that y'all learned something. If you have any questions, please place them down below. And if I missed something, let me know that too. Because at the end of the day, I'm still relatively new to the game, but I really enjoy it. And I hope you guys are liking my videos so far. If there's anything I can do better, please let me know. But until next time, we'll see you later.